So, session 69. Nice.
It's a good thing that Tom does the recap so I can just have a minute.
So, the Talaria have been travelling to a cove on the southern part of Karmora, with the intention to leave Kurz there while you continue onward to Port Honor, pending finding a more longer-term solution to hiding a dragon in a republic that despises all dragons. After many days of travelling through the Morag jungle, encountering mysteries, including dead bodies and having reunions, confessions, and battles, you had finally arrived at the Cove, a secluded area, out of sight of human civilization for many miles. Your moment of reprieve, however, was quashed in a, frankly, domino of issues, starting with a nosebleed, and ending in Aki having his mind partially scrambled accidentally. Nevertheless, you decided to... well, most of you decided to rest for the day. Some conversation was had between Fur and Kurz, but beyond that, the night went without a hitch. However, with party unity seemingly fraying, given the most recent developments, you all wake up to the start of a new and difficult day. And that is where we left off. So, Talaria. At this point, it is, give or take, around 10 in the morning. You have eaten your breakfast. Kurz had retrieved Aki's scimitar from the cave and returned it back to him. And the day is now yours.
All right.
Tom, can I quickly check what session number is this?
69.
Nice.
Nice.
That wasn't even on purpose.
So, now with everything kind of settling after the introduction of the morning, she gets up while people are eating, and she says, all right, with the situation, we're going to have to probably stay longer, a day or two. We should figure out... we should scout the caves proper in that time. And she looks to everyone. Figure out what exactly the plan is for while Cutter stays here.
I mean, me and Kurz, we've done a bit of exploring around the side. You know, a bit more towards cobbles.
Did you find anything?
Gravel beach, small few caves here and there. Some go pretty far up. Bit treacherous to get past though, and at least from what I can tell, mostly dead ends.
Did you find any routes between the caves?
One or two, but none that lead to the caves that are here in the cove itself. We'll take it as a separate network.
I'm sorry, Tom, but how do you find caves that don't lead to the coves from the cove?
Well, no, they're referring to when I mentioned with the cove. There's a pathway that goes around, like away from the cove.
So she went out?
So I had mentioned that there's like the ways in, like the way you came in, away on the back, but then there's sort of like basically like a cliff path that heads
I know.
westward.
I'm saying like she went over there.
Yeah, she went westward.
Okay, she went farther than I thought she did.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Mev nods. Well, Kurz is here. There is a small chance, but a chance that someone else may come in. I say we develop some kind of route that he can take in case. Places to hide. She looks to Kurz. You should get yourself acquainted with the area, is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Should also probably leave a tent, some supplies. Not only will it give some place to hide you, but it'll give the impression that other people are around.
Kurt's just sort of like nods quietly at that.
Yeah, she's thinking more about what they can do. She takes out the sending stone. Do you know if you can use magical items, Curse?
I've never tried.
All right. She puts the sending stone next to him. I'd say give it to him, but he doesn't have hands.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you to try and use this to contact Olivia. It doesn't have to be anything important. You can just say it's a test.
He sort of like looks down at the stone. It's like, and how do I do that?
It's just a matter of like touching it, right? And thinking the spell.
Yeah, touching it, thinking of which of the two that you want to speak to.
Yep.
And the stone seems to do the rest.
Put your paw on it, think of Olivia, and think of what you want to say.
He sort of like timidly like raises his paw up and place it down. He can't like hold on to it, so he sort of kind of presses it into the ground slightly. That's cocked. Cocked again. I'm gonna roll over here. There we go. So, do I just say it in my head, or do I speak it, or...
It can be in your head or aloud.
Oh, okay. His head just sort of like shoots up as he's about to start speaking. You see him like look around until he just looks very confused. He's like, lifts his paw up. The red part of the stone is now gone, meaning that it's been cast.
Yeah, Mev smiles. Did you hear something?
Yeah, they were asking who it was that was speaking, and how did they find them out?
She raises a brow. Did it sound like Olivia?
Yeah.
Then it was Olivia. And judging by the questions she asked, you can probably reply to her. Unless the stalking counts, though.
So I look. So I look. He's at the stone again. Just sort of like place it his paw on it again. Hello? This is Kurz, the dragon that you met with the Talaria. Uh, not
25 words, Cutters.
oh, it's that many. What? It's God.
Oh, man.
So like he's taking his
Well-
paw off at this again at this point.
Yeah, Mev, looks a little amused at that. Sorry, I forgot that was a stipulation. But it looks like it works.
Yeah. So like paws at the ground, like trying to pick it up. That might be a problem.
Carry it with your muzzle.
Carry my what now?
Your muzzle. She gestures to her own face.
So like lies down and so like sticks his tongue out and just scoops it up.
Yeah.
He sort of like shifts it about a bit. And you can see so like a very slight like bulge where the stone is, just at the front of his teeth, to avoid any risk.
Yeah, she, what did it do? You know what? She takes off her sash and, like opens it up. Here, drop it in here.
Oh, okay. Just sort of like scoops it out. A bit of dirt also comes with it.
Yeah.
It's just like,
She doesn't tie it up, but she just makes kind of like a sack with it. And then ties the sash around Kurz. Almost like a big collar.
just sort of like looks down at it and looks back at you. It's like, I'll put when I find a cave to spend my time in. I'll make sure that it just stays there. Don't want to dirty it.
She shakes her head. You need to make sure that stays on you. While we're not around, that's one of your only forms of contact with us.
There's
If something happens, you call Olivia, she calls us.
There's some of that I need to work on, though, and I don't want to risk this falling off while I do it.
She nods. It definitely occurs to her what he's talking about. Well, I mean, if you can figure out how to tie something with those paws of yours. She grins. Just try to keep it close to you then.
Close as I can.
Alright. Curse has a way of contacting us. We're going to establish routes, and we're going to set up a tent and supplies as a ruse. She thinks if there's anything else that she could really do right now. Well, I'd prefer to make sure that all of the caves are cleared. Someone needs to be here with Aki. We don't know how his head is going to affect him right now. We need to take watches on him.
Me and Kurz can keep exploring.
Isn't Aki there with you guys?
Yeah, he is, but he's also fucking brain fried right now.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you want, you guys can look over to Aki and make an insight check on him.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, go ahead.
Give me a minute. Insight.
19, fucking great. Okay. To you, Aki looks like a fucking world away. Like he's like his eyes have almost like glassed over, and you can see him like he's basically like you can see him like really like straining in his head, and you see him like mutter occasionally to himself, but you can't hear what he says. But it's like the odd scrap or like half words he says. He's not mutters to himself, you can't make it, but he more mouths it than says it.
Mev frowns because she knows that look really well. You two keep searching, but you should take Havelock or Kindling with you. You know what? Take Kindling and Havelock. She looks at the pirate, just immediately frowns, just in either irritants or frustration.
Yeah, Mevelair?
We're running out of supplies, rations. See if you could collect any for us.
Right, on it. And he's gonna take the nets and start walking towards the water.
Chris, you should go lay down.
Aki doesn't hear you. Or if he does, he's not paying attention.
Yeah, she goes to him gently, puts like her hand on his arm.
When you do that, you almost startle him, and he sort of snaps to look at you.
Hey, it's all right.
And I know. Sorry, I was in my own. I was dealing with something. I was dealing with some internal matters. I'm sorry. What's the plan? Are we delving in the caves? Do you want me to come along? I may be the best at finding if possibly it's used as a seasonal retreat for the local fauna.
She shakes her head. You are going to get some rest. Everything else is being taken care of, okay?
Mevelair, please, I'm not a child.
You're not a child, but you're just seriously hurt.
Well, I just have a few loose hairs to pluck and a few things to figure out. I'll be fine. There's no need to treat me like some kind of insipid invalid. I just think if you're delving into the caves, you may need someone of my expertise.
She puts a hand on his cheek and just makes sure that he's like looking at her, focusing on her.
I guess as you get close to him and you get the hand in his cheek, you can see that he is like trying to hide it, but he is like doing like some like panicked mouth breathing at the moment.
Yeah. Hey. As you said, you have to sort yourself out. That's okay. Honestly, it's very high on my list of priorities. So, why don't you help me with that?
Help you by doing nothing.
help me by just trying to figure things out.
All right, as long as as long as um as long as this doesn't become a running pattern of me being burdensome and me not carrying my weight, I suppose I can accept it. But still, at least, Tom,
Yes.
would I be able to, would it be a bit of an abuse of the mechanic if I was to use Animal Companion to let Gwenton come with the party searching the caves?
Not necessarily, because if I recall, that's just your version of
It's just
Find
find
Familiar.
familiar,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm familiar, but I thought isn't there like a range of how far the familiar can get from from the person who the familiar they are?
No,
They're with.
that's the range on which you can look through their eyes and such.
Okay, so Aki says, all right, well, in that case, I can accept your orders of recuperation, but at least I will have less fears and worry if you had another pair of eyes with you, and Aki will sort of do a faint whistle, and landing next to us, both of us, is Gwenton.
Well, I am staying here with you to make sure that everything goes all right. But she holds out a hand to Gwenton.
Yeah, and Aki just says,
Just
Gwenton.
lands on your hand.
You know Mevela, she's a dear friend. She will look after me. I would like you, dear boy, to go with... Who's going into the caves?
Flora and Kinsling.
I would like you to go with Fer and Kindling. They're trusted. They're family. Gwenton, in this situation, give them as much insight and knowledge and wherewithal as you can provide, and you'll be doing me a great service, my friend.
Reach places they can't.
Precisely. Right. If you see the tabaxi over there and the sharply dressed fellow with the blonde hair, that's Havelock and Kindling. Go get yourself acquainted with them. I'll see you later.
And he just flies off towards towards the three.
It's a
Yeah.
good lad.
Yes? Now, come on. We're going to go lay down.
All right, Mevla. Thank you. All right. I can get myself up. Let me just check if I have everything. Scimitar. I think my bag's still in the tent.
I don't think you have your scimitar. You don't have it.
No, Kurt gave it back to him at the end of the.
Oh,
at the end
yeah.
Of the
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
Aki says, scimitar, a bit dented and with dragon sputum, but
We can get it fixed at port.
I know. I'm not too worried.
You know what? Do you have some ink left?
I think so. I can't say for sure, but I think so. Yes, I might have some left in my bag if you look.
I want to do something with you. If you let me.
If you like, you can roll insight on Aki to see how he reacts to that idea. 14. Okay.
Can you recall one?
Aki looks sort of. He looks a bit wary, not quite sure what to make of it, and he goes, "Well, I'm sure whatever you have in mind, that it comes from a good place. So, yes, whatever game or activity you have in mind, let us do it."
Right. She will take you back to the tent.
Yeah. Aki gets up under his own steam. You can see that probably the night of sleep he had before probably wasn't all that restful. And
Well, yeah, I was watching him the entire night.
Which reminds me, actually, I forgot and I took off my point of exhaustion. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I forgot that too.
And oh no, that's temporary hit points. And yeah, Aki just goes like, okay, and Aki catches his breath, has a look around, and then sort of takes in his bearings, and then goes back to Neverless tent.
All right. You come with her, and she's looking through her own things. And she takes out just like a set of brushes.
Yeah, Aki will unsling his scimitar from or actually he probably wouldn't have put his scimitar away. He just basically rested the scimitar on the floor, and then Mev just has like a sleeping bag, right?
Yeah, she has
stuff?
like
Yeah, like what stuff is like in her tent?
She's got her pack. The tent's a 2-person tent, so it's bigger than normal. She's got like a collection of clothes that she switches out of, and a bedroll, and then anything else seems to have come from her bag, such as a couple of games, maybe some loose paper,
Yeah.
a rope, like just generic stuff right now. She doesn't intend to stay here long.
Okay, I was wondering if like the tent was anything more than basically just like, 4 bits of canvas on a roof and then her sleeping bag. Okay. So I guess Aki you kind of see Aki almost like just crumple back onto the sleeping bag and just sort of sit with his knees up with sat with his knees up on the floor. I am stuttering like an idiot. And he again just kind of goes back to sort of looking sort of off into the middle distance and I mean, because that 19 insight check will probably roll over, and so it's not quite a look of like confusion. It's more of a look of like serious mental arithmetic almost.
Yeah, she gets into your bag for a minute and pulls out like the ink.
Okay. Hold on. What else would you come across in Aki's bag?
I mean, Mev has been through Aki's bag so many times.
Yes. I mean, in Aki's bag you also rummage through 4 books. There would also be like the fine sort of burgundy wine coloured doublet with like gold flowered looking filigree inlays.
Mm-hmm.
A bar of soap in there. And then there is a wooden dowel and a little pouch of powder in there as well.
Yeah.
Apart from just regular sort of adventurers, explorers equipment, like tinderbox and rope and some rations and stuff like that.
Yeah, she just takes out like the ink, and she rolls up your sleeves.
What are you doing?
I am going to paint on you.
Right. Now, if I recall correctly, there's some, I presume, some deep sort of cultural, ritualistic importance in pirate culture to the painting of skin, right?
Yes, but this will not be permanent.
Oh,
This is just a an activity to keep you grounded.
yes. Right, so essentially I become your canvas.
That's right. And you
Yes,
have something to focus on, relax about while you think.
yes, if I recall, you're quite the artist, aren't you? You even designed the art on your own body.
She pauses, looks at him. Did I tell you that?
Um. Well, I presume you must have. Otherwise, it. How did it end up in here? Did I? I'm sorry. That might have been an assumption. I might have just. I knew you had your tattoo, and I knew you were
No, you're fine.
adept hand at aesthetics, and so I must have made a foolish assumption, filling in the gaps. If I
You're
missed the mark,
fine.
I'm sorry.
I did make it. I'm just. I honestly can't recall if I told you that. She shrugs. Fair assumption to make.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've sort of tried been assumptions. I think right now with what I'm trying to figure out seems to be my worst enemy at the moment.
Just relax. And if you want to talk through anything while you're doing that, I'm here.
All right.
Any requests?
What of the artwork?
That's right. May not be
Oh.
permanent, but it's going to be on you for a little while.
Aki says. Well, in that case, we should make it something beautiful. And Aki just say, Mev, do you still have one of the Pillar's Primrose in your hair?
She would, yeah.
Aki sort of like points up, and he says it a bit more like confidently than he sort of said anything since since breakfast. And he goes, "I would like one of them, please." And he points to the flower in your hair.
She smiles. Want me to do a tennis style?
And
She
I'm sorry,
grins.
what tennis style?
She will draw up like a pattern just on a piece of paper real quick to show Aki. It's a thing that my people do. The type of art style. She draws up a quick design.
Aki looks at it and goes, "Ah, it's delightful.
It's intricate.
Yes. Requires a deft hand and an excellent eye. Yes. I mean, I presume the designs take a decent amount of time, so if you're willing to make that sacrifice, then yes. One of those flowers. One of those flowers in the pirate henna style sounds delightful. Oh, did I can't again. This might be something of a pattern here, but I can't remember. Did I ever tell you what those flowers are called, at least in Naza?
I don't think you did.
They're they used to grow in the family garden when I was a boy. The local the groundsman referred to them as peerless primroses.
I'll have to remember that.
I suppose. This might sound almost nauseating, but what my brain just threw up there was the notion that you and the flower are one and the same. Peerless. Sorry if that was overstepping the mark or saccharine, but I felt like I just had to say that.
You see her face definitely redden. No, thank you.
It's alright, looking back now, if I remember the tavern in Lanarch, and I gave you that flower. I didn't even really think of what flower to give you. I was just thought of a flower, and that was the one that generated. So I presume fate or some divine overseer maybe mandated that it was that particular flower. Perhaps the forces of this plane are sappy romantics.
I prefer to think it was just your subconscious. She grins.
Yeah, Aki does sort of crack a warm smile as well. And he says, "Oh, yes, or the yes." And Aki, and you see Aki just sort of drift off, just drift off again.
Her smile dampens as she watches you go. But she settles by you and gets to work.
Yeah. I presume it's quite. You're doing it with like a very soft hand, and like it's almost quite a relaxing feeling.
Yeah.
So,
seems like Nev has practiced this many, many times before.
Yeah. So I think Aki, for a while, you see Aki almost like starts as like he kind of keeps doing that kind of sort of slightly eyes glazed murmuring. Now, like the murmuring is interesting because I guess you're close to him now. It's not like it's not like full sentences in quarry. It's just more like it's more sort of statements like, but hold on, and like yeah, if that's the case, like those sort of like causal kind of sentences.
Is he
like
talking in Corey? I just need to know if that's Corey or common.
He is barely. He barely hear just little mutters to himself, but it's in common.
Okay, that's good.
And then as sort of you keep, and then as you draw the design, you do see Aki kind of like tense back. And in fact, he actually puts his feet down and then starts to lie back. And you see his sort of breathing get a bit sort of slower and a bit heavier. As you see him sort of start to sort of partially relax. There's still a sort of sense of like tightness and tenseness, like especially in his face, but like body language and in terms of like comfortableness and like feeling safe. Aki has sort of loosened a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
Then I imagine we see the people in the caves.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess the question is there, Kinling, is there any role-playing you want to do with Curse and Fur?
And Gwenton.
Gwenton can't technically speak.
Bollocks, okay.
I mean, obviously Fur's got, speak with animals, but... I guess the question is if Kinling wants to do any role-playing with the goblin or the dragon. Unless Nate has gone back to BRB. I will assume that he is currently on BRB. So
He's dealing with his dad, it sounds like.
Ah, yeah, I see. Yep, there we go.
There we go.
So, Kinling, is there any role-playing you want to do with or Kurz? Or Gwenton, since he's also there. No? Okay. Given the fact that you, the three of you are searching through the caves, why don't you go ahead and give an investigation check?
God, I hope that this just goes well.
When has anything ever gone well?
Oh my god. It's that things went okay before, and then in the last in-game week, it's just so fucked.
Hey, go for. And that's Curse. Ed, would you like to roll an investigation for Gwenton, please?
I would like to. Would he have the same investigation as me?
No.
He would have the same investigation as whatever bird you made him.
Well, the idea is that he was like a little finch, little bird finch. What would be the closest thing in D&D to like a little sort of, hold on, like a little songbird finchy looking thing? Should we just give it for a raven? Because I think that's
it would just be a tiny bird.
Yeah, unfortunately there is no tiny bird. A raven would be the closest.
Yeah.
But he doesn't gain any additional stats, does he?
What? As
yes,
part of,
he does. He's a bird.
He's a burb.
Because if
he gets a it's investigation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bollocks. Okay.
Because if he doesn't get any additional stats, technically he's rolling with a -4
Yeah, that's what I just saw. And because get animal companion, it is literally just you cast find familiar.
This is why you should have been an owl.
Let me check.
Oh, I forget owls have crazy good wisdom, don't they?
Fucking
Yeah,
love me an owl.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything in regards to gaining extra stats. So
Yeah. I think it is just roll flat.
D20
okay.
-4.
Oh, why can't it be perception? Okay. Hold on.
Because you are investigating the
Oh, bless you,
caves.
Gwenton.
You
Okay.
can perceive the caves already.
Advanced roller. D20. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll do a D20 roll, and then we give them do -4.
Yep.
In our heads. That is a -3.
Oh, amazing.
I don't want to talk about it.
Amazing.
Well, Gwenton just gets comfortable on Kurz's head. While Kindling, Fur, and Kurz begin exploring the caves.
He's there to just report back.
He's there for moral support
Pretty much.
and to provide him with a bit of music with his tweeting.
Doing such a good job.
It takes about an hour or two, but you can say with confidence that while it's clear that some of the caves have been inhabited, it's not that are currently inhabited. Fur, in one of the higher up caves, finds, in like one of the more shallower caves, what looks to be almost like a pelican nest or some form of bird that's made its home there, but there's just eggshells remaining and a few feathers. It looks like it hasn't been inhabited for a while. Kindling, you in the lower caves find what you think might be claw marks of a creature, maybe a bear? You're not entirely sure. But as you do a thorough look through the caves, you don't run into anything. It would seem that the caves are currently uninhabited, but it's clear that they are used on occasion. Yeah, kind of same thing for me as well. Found a nest for some birds, I don't know, maybe seagulls, maybe pelicans, I don't know. But it looks like we've got free reign over basically any of these caves. Yeah, so I guess we just... Oh, she looks over to Kurt. I guess you just pick a cave and go from there. We'll see what works for everyone else for the tent and everything. I might move about, just to be safe. If you say so. Don't think you need to worry. I can't imagine anything other than, maybe a lookout on a boat that's specifically looking at the caves would spot you. That's still a risk. Can I get typing? We'll wait. Yeah, I mean, we're basically picking our poison here. Do we want the caves that are down the side of this path, where a lookout might spot it, or do we want it more to the cove where, well, if someone comes into the cove, they'll see it. Potentially, anyway. I don't know how popular this place is for people. Yeah. I mean, I see good and bad points for both. But you're right. We should head back to the others then. If there's nothing else, Havelock, what are you doing?
I'm going to the ocean and I'm getting food.
You are hunting for fish.
For fish. With a net.
Okie dokie. Make a, because you do it because of your page thing. You've got a swim speed, don't you? Yeah.
Yes, I believe it is 40 feet? 40 feet.
Okay, I'll let you make a survival
Terrifying.
check with advantage.
He's coming at ya.
What am I making with advantage?
Survival.
Okay. Am I good at this one? Not really.
No, but you do have advantage.
Yeah, that's a 12.
Okay, I mean, 12's not that bad. Let's see how many fish we're able to grab, then. That one. You are able to, over the course of the next hour or so, you're able to get 4 relatively large-sized fish.
Hooray. Can I also do a quick little look around to see if there's any, like, pretty shells or things?
Sure, make a perception check.
Oh god.
9.
I can see Havelock going to Mev and being like, this for you. You aren't mad at me anymore, right?
I know. Yeah, I know. I smashed the first domino here, but pretty shell. Yeah.
You do find some shells. You don't find any particularly pretty ones, though. You don't find ones
That's a lie. To Havelock, they're all pretty.
You don't find any that stand out above all the others. Then how about that wording?
Cool.
The shells are really nice.
Alright, I will head back.
Okay.
You did it.
Tom,
Yes.
would what Aki's going through count as a short or long rest?
Depends how long
You did
you're
say he
sleeping
wasn't
for.
very restful in his sleep, Ed.
That is true. Okay, I was
It
wondering.
depends on the length of time you're sleeping.
Well, Aki isn't really sleeping. He's just more just like
It's low activity,
Short
yeah,
rest.
basically like
which counts.
Yeah, it counts as a rest, but it'd be a short rest, just given the length of time.
Okay, cool.
Alrighty. So, Mev, are you also napping with Aki, or are you still awake?
Technically, I'm also having a period of low activity, but I'm not sleeping.
Okay.
I've been working on Aki's henna. I actually imagine she started on his hand and finished the flower and has just been going up his arm now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I imagine she's just fully doodling.
She keeps it in the style of henna.
Okay,
So it all looks like it goes together.
Oh, okay. So now he's basically gonna have like his whole arm done in like that really gorgeous, like intricate pattern. That's so cool. Okay.
Yep.
That's so nice. Okay. Also, can
he's
we
he's gonna get to Port Honor and everyone's gonna be like, "That's fucking sick."
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. There's like one pirate crew that like their whole thing, like there's one pirate crew who like this whole thing is giving each other henna tattoos, and everyone's like, "Oh fuck, you're with them? Oh okay, we'll leave you alone, sir."
That's actually what I was thinking, Nate. That it looks like a fucking. It starts looking like a Samoan tattoo.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
That's the vibe.
That's fun. Yeah. So, actually, it's interesting. I might do something fun roleplay wise for people when they get back to the camp.
Oh boy, I'm scared of you. All right.
You shouldn't be. It's nothing scary, but it's just fun. Fun's not scary. It's fun.
The henna harbingers. Write that shit down.
Peach, it's in the text. It's already written down.
No, it has to be like in the notes. Okay.
Hold on. I'll put it in the campaign notes in the Discord.
That would be a sick name. Like, we should make that like our fucking ship name. Oh.
Actually, just like the
Harbinger.
or even the Harbinger's a sick name, to be fair. Even though it's from Mass Effect. Come on, Compute, work with me. Hold on. Possible ship / just generally badass name. The Henna Harbingers. Please tell me that worked.
Oh man. Oh, shit. Fuck me. Ow.
You're right.
I'm running away in hardcore. I was just running around to have something in the background while we play, and I ran into something.
Running around at the speed of sound. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I think.
So everyone's coming back.
I think, and after a while, Mev, you hear the muttering stop from Aki, and you see him basically fall back asleep.
Yeah.
Or fall back at least into like basically his body's in like not shutdown mode, but like standby mode almost.
Yeah,
But actually, you do watch as Aki. After a while, Aki mutters something in his sleep, and you see a slight like almost what's it called? Like almost like a like firefly colored like glow like for like a split second like emit from his mouth as he says it. But then as far as you're aware, nothing happens.
All right, I'm just gonna make a note of that. That's weird. Yeah, she finishes up with you and gets up to go check on everyone else.
As you exit the tent, you see that in his sleep, Aki has cast half of Moonlight and Shadow on the tent.
Oh, that's fun.
And so
Okay.
you basically, and so like about 30 meters or how far you can see around the cave, you see almost like this, almost like
I see the
strange,
wall.
like twilighty, yeah, like wall of mist around your tent, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you mean
Yeah,
0 out
okay.
of 10?
My God, bugs. Fucking.
Fair. Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. At this point, who all has come back?
So I would say
Danger.
Oh,
I would say they all sort of come back roughly at the same time. Havelock a
Okay.
little bit earlier, just given proximity. Maybe the other three a few minutes later.
then I suppose I'll give Havelock the opportunity to say or do anything in those few minutes. Do you have anything?
I'm sorry. Were you speaking to me? Can you please repeat it if you were?
Also,
I'm giving you the opportunity. Ed?
I was gonna say also just to remind you, yeah, people coming back from the cave, you also have to pass through, like the gloomy twilighty wall of the Hearth.
I was just saying that, like, since Mev and Havelock are going to be alone together for a couple of minutes, do you want to say anything in that time?
Havelock is gonna come back over, going towards the little. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the little Jesus Christ. The campfire.
Mm-hmm.
And sit down and start going over the fish that he got.
Is he, like,
But-
descaling it and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, she will go over and sit by him. Come on, give me one.
Alright. Do you want the fat one, the slightly less fat one, the slightly less fat one? We got options.
Doesn't matter. We're fucking scaling and gutting them.
Fine, you get the fattest one. Maybe he ate something.
Ugh, I hope not. I hate picking out things.
Yeah? Are you sure about that?
She side-eyes him. What the fuck's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, you like to pick at things.
She rolls her eyes. Doesn't seem like she's really going to give that a response.
Havelock chuckles to himself and he continues to descale the fish that he was working on. You know, maybe this little reset thing will fix your little boyfriend's pirate problems.
Pirate problems? What the fuck are you on about?
Every fucking time he's not around you, it's saying things like, your people, or he's saying some off-the-wall shit about pirates.
What do you mean? Chris isn't... Okay, he was like that.
That is. like that?
She
Racism.
yeah, she is she's descaling this fish, and her knife just kind of stops on it, and she looks at you.
Havelock is still working on the fish.
She's going to insight. 17.
What are you trying to insight?
How truthful Havelock's being if he's like trying to start shit.
You can tell he's speaking this out of his genuine annoyance. His eyebrow is twitching like mad.
Yeah, she finishes the motion when she's descaling the fish. You're fucking serious.
Of course I'm fucking serious.
Then why the fuck didn't you tell me?
Kind of forgot to bring it up in the moment.
You forgot?
Hey, we can't all have good brains like you.
How do you forget to tell someone, like, hey, your boyfriend is being fucking prejudiced towards, you know, your people? She says that with some disgust. It definitely irritates her.
Well, clearly he doesn't think it's your people, and he just rolls his eyes.
Why would I be any different?
I don't know, he sure as shit doesn't say these things around you.
He doesn't, but... Come on, it's not like Akris is being malicious, right?
I don't care if he is or not. I told him to cut this shit out before. You
I
told
know
him
it doesn't matter, I don't want to think that he's not saying it in front of me intentionally.
Well, then what else is it? Unless he doesn't think that you're actually a pirate.
Of course he thinks that.
Does
I mean,
he?
what reason would he have not to? I've made clear this is who I am.
Havelock just kind of purses his lips and just like looks at her like,
What?
just don't think he sees you like that.
Do you think... Do you think something would change if he did?
I don't know. But like I said, every time when it's just me and him, for the past, since we were in the jungle, probably even before then.
You just didn't say anything. Fuck Havelock. Is that why you were fucking doing that shit?
Yeah. Clearly
Holy
telling you to stop doing
shit!
shit's not gonna work.
She just looks a little baffled.
Like, I'm sorry I fucked him up so much. Didn't mean to, send him into a spiral like that. But goddamn, maybe he'll actually think before he speaks.
I'm sorry. Fuck.
Just say sorry. It's not your words. It's not your actions. It's not you.
Yeah, but I mean, she tries to figure out how to explain this or convey this to you. We both know what shit comes out of that kind of prejudice, that kind of profiling. I should have noticed. I mean, no one's gonna fucking protect us like we're going to protect us. I'm sorry.
Right? But you don't gotta protect me like that. Because right now, you're escaping it. That's what needs to happen.
Doesn't exactly make me feel very good that I'm, I don't know, passing.
I mean, come on, you've got
Meanwhile, my friend is experiencing bullshit. Come on, you're telling me that you wouldn't feel bad if the positions were switched?
Oh, I would. I've just been through worse. Fucking at least I'm not losing things this time.
You know I would never let that happen.
Can't you just laugh at my jokes?
I need you to know that. Obviously, I've been fucking failing.
Joking. Level I trust you enough to say that type of stupid shit.
Shit. And she just stares down at her work for a minute. I'm still upset at you, you know.
I know.
But I definitely understand better now.
Oh, I got you something too.
You got me something? She goes to like move her hands and realizes it's covered in just fish nastiness. Don't give me it now. I don't know what it is.
Havelock's just gonna grab her hands, both bloody messes with a little
gross.
good shake.
Great. Thank you so much.
I promise. It's a cool present. I think you're gonna like it.
Mm-hmm.
It won't make things better, but maybe it could help with us bonding.
All right.
He has a big grin, takes his hands back and flicks a single fish scale at her forehead.
Fucking. She definitely like just puts her hand where it landed. Looks just confused. What, you're going to fling fish scales at me?
No, but I just got you to wipe fish blood on your forehead.
Fuck! Yeah, she definitely looks a mix of irritated and amused. She starts laughing with you.
Hey, you know
fucking
what?
bastard!
Yeah, that's what the last lady I slept with said. But hey, we could take these fish scales. Maybe we could do something with them.
She looks at them. Got any ideas?
Make a pretty fish scale skirt for the Witch of the Sea. Eh? Eh? He's like nudging her with his elbow.
That would take so much time and detail, and neither of us are seamstresses. Seamers? Tailors? What is the male equivalent?
Teamster?
Spinsters.
These are for old hags.
Ah.
At this point, Killingfer and Kurz sort of pass through the shadowy wall and just joined you.
I imagine that means that like everyone comes back.
Yeah, at this point, everyone's back.
And you see Mev and Havelock seemingly getting along.
Despite the blood, no one has officially died.
Oh yeah. Fucking
Yeah, but first I
Mev's
speak
got
so.
fucking blood on her face.
Yeah, it's like you. Please tell me that blood's not Haki's.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, I would actually.
It's not Aki's, and she holds up one of the gutted fish.
Right. Okay. Fish Bill got it.
Kindling, you want to gut one? No, there's no crab. God, I wish
Eh,
there was crab.
we're going to be here for a while longer. There's always time to collect some.
Mev, you don't understand. Havelock's got tears in his eyes. I want crab.
If we don't find some here, we'll just get some at port.
It's not the same. Havelock will yeet a fish at Kindling. Can I do a strength check to see how fast it goes?
Oh my god. That's a fucking big fish. Like,
Yeah, it sticks to catch. I
No,
guess, yes,
Mev.
strength
You
for
and
how hard
Havelock
you
have the
throw it.
biggest of the fish.
that's true. They're still big. Oh.
Okay. Make an athletics check for me, Kindling. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So, Havelock flings a fish at you. You sort of like reach out to grab it, but still being covered in, its own blood and guts, it like slips through your hand. You sort of like quickly leap up and catch it in the air before it hits anywhere.
Hi, Kindling!
So it just sort of like, just quietly claps.
So, any luck with the caves? Did you establish a route?
We got a lot of choices, at the very least. Some of the caves weren't inhabited, but have clearly been used. I found what looks to be like probably seagull egg nests or something like that. Some of the lower caves, something bigger, maybe a bear. I'm not too sure, but
Is it particularly recent, this assumed bear?
doesn't look like it. But we're approaching that time of the year where a bear might think about hibernating.
She thinks about it. Yeah, but she looks at Kurz. won't take an occupied space, right?
No.
If it tries, that's free food for him.
You think you can fight the bear curse? The win?
Kindling agrees. Curse can take a bear.
I think I could take a bear.
Alright. Then she shrugs.
It. He'll have a blanket.
How is he going to skin it?
He has claws, teeth.
It's
He's
not
got a
going to be a very clean skin.
Just a blanket.
I mean, if anything, I'm thinking maybe a little bit higher up, you know, away from the caves we found that look like bears use them. It takes them around the side, but I mean, I'd rather risk being jumped on by seagulls than a bear.
I don't know. I've seen seagulls take out eyes before.
Well, I agree. I trust in curse capabilities. That's not the main concern. The main concern is if someone sees him.
I mean, that's the thing as well. If we go close to the cove, then someone comes in, he'll be spotted. But if we go around the side and somebody, like on a ship, is looking in that direction, they'll spot him.
She twirls her dagger in her hand. Aren't the lower caves the ones that are more accessible?
Yes.
So, okay. Yeah, she looks to Kindling. Well, that might be true if they know that there are bears. It's more accessible, easier to get to. You're more likely to have people come in. As for the ships versus someone coming, you have a couple pros and cons with that. Pro for the lower caves. If someone spots curse, he can grab them. Con. They've got the clearer image. They know what they're looking at. For the ship, it's kind of the opposite. Con is that you're not going to be able to stop anyone who spots you on a ship. They're too far away. And there's more of them. Pro, though, if someone spots you, could just be that they were mistaken.
What are the odds that a ship might fire on Kurz? Have curiosity?
How... A ship couldn't get very close, could it?
Nah, there's corals and rocks.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know. So they'd have to fire, like, a fucking cannon at him.
Yeah, that's what Phil's referring to.
Yeah. Mev thinks about this. Didn't get very close without risking, running ashore. So they'd have to fire a cannon. However, cannons take time. And people aren't going to just randomly shoot at the side of a mountain for something that they might be mistaken for. The likelihood... She thinks about it. Honestly, I couldn't say. I think it depends on the spotter. Some are better than others.
So there's good points and bad points for both options then.
That's right. I would go with the lower caves. As I said, you can stop someone if need be. By stop, I mean she kind of mock draws her dagger against her neck, not touching skin.
Okay. What about everyone else?
It's not touching skin, okay?
Your hands.
Her hands are touching the dagger, not her.
Just saw what Kindling said there. So it looks like Kindling is on the side of the lower caves.
Well, that's what he said previously.
Yeah, I only just noticed it.
Yeah. Havelock, what's your opinion?
If he can successfully escape with the lower caves, I say go with the lower caves. A tiny person's gonna be a lot easier to deal with than a fucking cannonball. And
That's
I've seen
right.
the little 1,000-yard stare start to settle in a little.
Yeah.
Okay. Avoid cannonballs.
Yeah, that's there's not much chance you survive if you get hit.
Especially not if if we're not here to heal. Just stay in the lower caves. Don't be stupid.
Well, that's 3 of you, so... So, Cursor looks Joel. I'll find the one I like most. And just sort of like walks out.
Alright. Yeah, the homiest one. Then guess we're dealing with fish. Waiting for Aki.
Okay, what are you doing?
At a sort of at a bit, like partway through you wrapping up the cave conversation, Aki will wake up, look down, see his frankly stunning looking arm, and then sort of laugh to himself, and seeing that that Mev isn't there with him, he will go outside, and he can probably hear people talking outside. He will stand up. He will leave his sword behind because he went to sleep basically in his clothes, and he will walk back out into the cove. You can see Aki looks more relaxed, but he now just looks a bit just like he's still got like bags under his eyes. He still looks tired, but he looks like less strained and stressed in his face. Yeah. And Aki says, so, my dear Talaria, what matter were we discussing?
We were just deciding what part of the caves Kirsch should stay in. And we are taking care of fish.
Oh.
shows off the carcass in her
Oh,
hands.
Did you manage to get any mollusks or crustaceans like crab or lobster?
She
Havelock
looks at Hemlock.
gets up, walks away.
I will take
He's very disappointed.
I will take the dejection as a no, and I'm sorry the currents weren't kind. So did we reach a consensus, or do I need to be a deciding vote?
Consensus.
We it seemed pretty sweeping.
And in what direction did the landslide swell?
He's going to stick here in the lower caves.
Excellent. I suppose it's small, confined, less viewable from the outside, I imagine. And I suppose if anyone, it's quite narrow passages here, isn't it? I would presume.
Fairly.
Okay. Yes, bottlenecks and choke points might make it easier for Kers to dispose of any fools or unfortunates, if it comes to that.
That's
Anyway.
a surprising idea from you. Usually you'd she thinks about it. Usually you'd be more concerned with the morality of the situation.
Well, I would wish it weren't the case, but well, frankly, I could say that about a fair many things. But I guess just if misfortune occurs, me saying that such I believe it shouldn't happen won't stop it from happening. So.
Fair enough.
And yeah, Aki saying that, you just see him, like, his face get a bit wearier. And just say, right, and then, when do we depart? I suppose it's... Olivia must be losing patience.
Olivia knew that we'd be a little longer. I don't think we're leaving today. And she looks him over. Are you alright?
Better. It's not quite as frantic up here, and he indicates up to his head, but I feel like I've trekked across a mountain range and descended the other side. So I don't know, perhaps a bit more bed rest, at least, maybe just to restore my strength, not necessarily my physical strength, not necessarily my acuity. But if the Talaria wills it, and if we must depart, then I believe I am well and fit and able enough for travel.
I think we're good to stay at least the night. She looks everyone over to see, like, is that true? Is that okay?
Yeah. Aki's going to roll insight on everyone else to see how they reacted to him saying, like, to him basically saying, like, I'm ready to, if you really want to leave, I'm ready to go. I'm going to sort of see how they read, and then to Mev saying we should stay another night. I want to see what side of that question they're on from insight.
Okie dokie.
Hold on, we both have... Oh, shit, we both have exhaustion, don't we, Mev?
Yes.
Fuck.
So you know what that
Yeah.
means. Ability checks are like acrobatics, animal handling. That's ability checks,
So,
right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I always fucking forget.
oof.
That's a natural one.
Nice. Nothing.
You can't really get a read. Fur's looking with some concern that you can see, like even with a 9, even with such a low roll as a 9 and such.
Yeah.
But but just at the discussion of it all, she's
Yeah.
just with Mev saying like another night and such is she's like,
Okay.
I'm with Mev. There's been a lot of shit that happened yesterday. Also, just so it looks to both you and Mev, I'm thinking you both take the early morning watch.
What makes you say that?
Because it doesn't take an idiot to show that neither of you got any sleep last night.
Chia. Mev.
Actually, can I roll insight on Mev and see if I can see if she looks tired?
Go ahead. Mev gives her Cheshire Cat grin.
13.
One night of sleep. Pointless.
To my eyes, does Mev look tired?
With
Oops.
disadvantage.
Hold on. I'm rolling again.
You gotta roll disadvantage.
Nat 1. Wow, duality man.
Yep.
Mev looks so fucking exhausted. There are bags under her eyes. They are kind of bloodshot. They're puffy. She just
Yeah.
girl's fucked up.
As Aki sort of gives, because I think now Aki's had that bit more time in bed rest. He's gained back a bit more of his senses, and Aki sort of just looks at her and sort of, if you look at Aki, you just see a look of just like such like like sadness and sympathy in his eyes at seeing like you like looking this fucked up but still keeping your Cheshire cat grin.
Mm-hmm.
And he just says, Mevelair,
Oh no, I know that voice. She looks to you.
you know what I'm going to say then. Times like these, you need to do yourself a kindness, Mevelair. And admit when you need to rest and stop.
She looks like she's gonna say something and she bites the side of her tongue.
Can I insight that?
Yeah, you can. There we go. Just put fucking disadvantage on me. There we go.
God fucking damn it.
I rolls in with
Nice.
disadvantage.
She just looks irritated. Don't know what she might have said or what she was thinking.
Yeah, in that case, it's Aki looking at her, and again, not being able to quite read it, but knowing there's sort of an irritation there, Aki will turn to Fer and say, thank you, I think, Mevelair and I taking the morning watch is the wise choice. If people are okay with that upending of the orthodoxy, of course. What time is it? How long was I can't tell how long I was.
Fuck if I know. I haven't seen the fucking sun in solid day. She turns to look at Havelock, who's like off to the side now.
Yeah.
Silently weeping over no crabs.
Oh my god. Luck?
Yeah.
What time is it?
Tom, do I know what time it roughly is?
Hazard a guess, it's just came into the afternoon.
Sometime in the afternoon.
Great.
Right.
Um,
Okay, the sun is in the west.
Excellent observation.
Aki just does a sigh because he doesn't seem to be quite in the mood for
Yeah.
and says, right then, what do we have any suggestions of what we may do in this in the remaining time before twilight?
I mean, I think we made sure that everything that we needed to do was handled.
Crumbs. How was the caves? How was Gwenton? Did he look after you?
Gwenton sort of like it's sort of like been sitting on first shoulder when Kurzla just flies over and lands on your shoulder.
Gwenton, what do you report, my friend?
It was rather dark, sir. So I simply serenaded them with tales and song.
Excellent, Gwenton.
I knew that was gonna happen. Excellent. Great job.
Thank you. I'm glad that your companionship can be shared with others. And and Aki says, I will see you. I will see you anon, dear friend. And Aki will dismiss the and Aki will say, I'll see you anon, dear friend. And he lifts his finger up that Gwenton landed on, and Gwenton flies away off out of sight.
Into the sunset.
Good. All right. So, in that case, we're safe then. The darkness didn't hide any terror.
I mean, some things have been here, but they're not here now.
All right. An indication of length of time since it was there. If it was animals, any carcasses, any state of. Did you get a read on the state of decomposition at all? Or?
There was a worn-down seagull nest. Had some old eggshells in it.
Yes. The natural the national. I'm tired. I'm too tired for sarcasm. Well, I suppose it's good then. We can sleep a little bit easier. And Aki this time says, if you don't mind me, I think I might when would you like the fire lit and made? I can see if I can get busy delving the coast.
Chris, you can go lay down.
No, Mevla, I'm fine.
Oh, sure, I need rest, but you don't.
Well, Mevla, in defense, I've just slept for the last God knows how many hours.
You slept for like an hour.
Wait, was that all it was? Just an hour?
Wasn't very long.
Just long. I know. It's just we're supposed to be a team, don't we? I just don't want to seem like I'm being, a
burden?
A dead weight. So yes, a burden indeed.
She rolls her eyes and sets the fish aside, stands up. If this were me talking right now, and she gestures to Fur, Havelock, and Aki. She ends on Aki, points to him. This were me right now. You all would be insisting that I get rest. That this isn't the case. So, either you're going to be a busybody and help out, or you're going to come and get some rest with me. And then I'll get my answer on whether this kind of ordeal, she waves her hand towards Aki, is burdensome or not. You want to answer my question? She grins at you. She's
Can I roll-
challenging you.
Can I roll insight on Mev?
Yep.
I want to get an emotional read on her, beneath just her grins and her challenges and her bluster.
Mm-hmm.
There we go, 16.
16.
God damn, that was a fucking natural 20, the other one.
Oof. Well,
Anuses.
oof.
Alright. It looks like, I mean, she's being fairly truthful. This is a challenge. This is a way to answer her to see how you all really feel about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Though it does, you know, the answer is going to have more importance than she lets on.
Okay. Yeah, Aki says, I suppose I should assume people would dole out the same kindness I would in a situation. Fine, as long as you don't think your absence is a detriment to the well-being of the collective.
Do you think that?
No, but
She looks to everyone else, not letting him finish. Does anyone else think that?
No.
Can we, for brain dead Anna, repeat the question?
Do you think that it would be like troublesome to the group if Mev left to rest?
No.
Why not? She looks to Aki. Well, Chris.
all right. Okay. Yes, let's. Well, in that case, let us be away then.
You should probably
Give
get
me a second to wash off.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh yes, you're. Whose blood is that?
The
blood
fish.
of the innocent.
Insight on
Technically
Havelock.
true.
Insight on Havelock.
You know, she
10.
Mev's gonna grab the alchemy jug.
What are you trying to incite?
Whether he's telling the truth.
Oh my god. Technically that's the truth. It's fish.
Yeah, by technicality, the fish did nothing wrong but exist and us be hungry. So, yeah.
Okay. So at least Aki puts together that it's fish blood and that technically the fish didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
It smells like fish. There are fish scales strewn across the bottom of the cave.
Fair enough,
Kindling
okay.
is still holding a fish.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Aki just goes, well, don't worry, I will not make you dragged towards some kind of aquatic tribunal for your crimes. It'll be alright.
Aquatic tribunal.
Yes,
Huh.
Marine creatures are incredibly litigious.
Didn't know fish had lawyers too. Thought we only had that.
Yes.
Do you think they're octopuses?
Actually, it's barnacle. Barnacle and barrister comes from the same root word.
Fucking. She looks to Aki. Looks a little amused. But yeah, she washes
Aki
her
just
hands
has-
on her face.
I will say, behind Aki's tired eyes, there is a smile and a glint. You don't know for sure, but he's probably having you on.
You're probably gonna want to get those bandages looked at as well, given, you know, they've been in fish guts.
Oh God, yes, of course.
I've got it.
Alright, just let me know if you're gonna net another pair of hands.
Yeah, Mev shows for her bandages. She actually looks to Aki. I'm surprised you know what the Bannister is.
Well, I suppose even back home you have to be. And we have, experts in legal codes and people who know the proper procedures, even if.
So they have lawyers in Naza.
Well, if you mean by lawyer someone who pleads your case in your stead, no, they're more like legal advisors.
Right.
To try to sway the opinion of the court in your favor. And they look for
So,
legal loopholes in the.
a lawyer. She grins.
If by lawyer you mean someone whose profession is the law, then yes.
She rolls her eyes. I'm just impressed.
What? You assume that in Elendan we just ask a tree and see if they get a good sort of aura and impression of the person?
I think it's not like that here. The only people who are sticklers for rules and how they're read
Well,
are, she looks to Havelock, are people.
Mevalier sees him smile a little as he scoots closer. Wash my hands, please.
perhaps I'm not.
I'm not washing your hands, I'm getting bandaged.
I can't even pretend to be an expert at all in codes of law, common or ecclesiastical or whatever, but perhaps a discussion between a Narzen lawgiver and a pirate one could be quite enthralling and fruitful. Right. Right, we should probably be gone. I fear I've outstayed my welcome.
Yeah, Mev will catch up. Still busy here.
I'll be there soon.
Alright. As Aki was talking about, saying, interesting, about, pirate law being, vaguely similar to, at least Eladan law, can you get a read on Havelock?
What kind of reading are you trying to get on Havelock?
Well, I want to see if there's any change in his sort of expression or demeanor as he looks at Aki, while Aki's sort of talking about this idea of common ground between Elendan culture and Narzen culture and pirate culture.
He was not looking at you. He was looking at Mev.
Fair enough. Okay, so he probably wasn't even listening either.
No.
Okay.
Also, Mev just noted that they had people who practice law similarly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm guessing the sort of particulars of the legal court proceedings are probably different, but there are some people who are it's our job to understand every facet of the decrees and the laws and the sanctions, both of in the across Naza and then in the individual in trading blocks.
Yeah, I just want to make sure because that's not how you were wording it.
Apologies, sorry. I'm tired, okay? In game.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, fucker, I fell back asleep and was 20 minutes late. What is your excuse?
I'm tired in game.
Yeah, but when Fur is done, Mev will join Aki.
Yeah, so
So
Aki, you head into the tent while Fur's finishing off. Fur finishes wrapping the bandage, but she just sort of puts your injured hand around hers and she looks up and says, squeeze as hard as you can, please.
All right. I'm guessing that's a strength check with disadvantage.
Yep.
Um. Do.
13. Alright, so
13.
I mean, with your hand is out, it's still not as good, but you can at least like feel.
Yeah.
Like it's clear you've done some heft. Does Port Honor have any doctors or clerics?
Yeah, there's plenty of medics there, including the church. I'm assuming this fucking hurts.
It hurts, yeah.
Yeah, her face is like scrunched up in a wince.
You can stop squeezing now.
She relaxes her hand.
We'll
Ow.
we'll need to get you to one to see how bad the damage is. I've got no clue. So it looks around at everyone else.
Right.
Just one more thing that me and Kurz talked about.
What is it?
Man, we need to tell Olivia about this. Not like what happened, but the effects.
Excuse me?
In the past few days, you became catatonic from a hit by those flails. You almost vanished into nothing, coming back some weird being, and you said yourself you're struggling over the stray thoughts, and I don't need to say what happened afterwards.
She takes her hand away. And how do you propose we explain all of this without telling her everything?
I'm hoping the time it takes for us to get put on will give me time to think of that. For all of us to think of that. But we can't just leave it be.
She looks to Havelock and Kindling. I actually imagine Aki probably is hearing this from the tent.
Sorry. What? So what? Are the? So I got that that you're talking about telling someone about all the shit's going on with
Telling Olivia about the shit
okay.
that's happening with Mev.
As Aki kind of like settles back down, he does start hearing like you guys talk about
Possession with disadvantage.
Oh yeah,
Well,
actually,
he's got his passive,
Alright, yeah.
and they're not being quiet.
But if, I don't know. Even with exhaustion, would I still have my passive?
You get, I believe, a -5.
Yeah.
To it, but
Okay,
you'd
cool.
still
So
hear very
I still
well.
that's still 18.
Yeah.
Fur is trying to be quiet, just to say. It's just obviously whispering into the microphone.
Mev's not trying to be quiet.
Okay. So I can hear Mev's side.
Yeah.
But if he wants to hear Fur's side, he'll have to make a perception with disadvantage.
I mean, okay, cool. I am trying to listen to Mev's side.
She looks to the rest of them. I'm gonna do insight on Havelock and Kindling. Havelock, Kindling.
Oof.
Nat 4 on Kindling.
What are you trying to perceive?
What they think of this, if they like agree with her.
Tom, can you repeat for me what she was saying?
Fur has said that in the past few days, like Mev has essentially ran into issue after issue. First coming catatonic with the flails, then vanishing into
Okay,
nothing.
so if we should tell her or not. Okay.
Yes.
We should tell Olivia, yeah, what's happening.
Halfox got a little bit of a frown, a little bit of a slight shake to the head.
Yeah, she looks to Fur. Where is the we in this? This isn't. The things happening with me aren't things happening to you, are they?
Havelock clears his throat, crosses his arms over his chest, and steps up behind Mev. Yeah, what's your fucking problem? This isn't your shit to deal with. You want to make her a fucking test subject? You want us to lose Mev? For their magical bullshit? No!
I. Whether I tell someone about all of this is my business. Frankly, the only one that has any right to say anything is a Kreese. And that's only about what happened to him.
I just don't want to lose you or anyone else from this.
Also, I didn't check before. With a 15, would I be able to hear the conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think basically starting to pick up the conversation. There's a bit of a pause, but then from Mev's tent, you hear a fair bit of sort of ungraceful movement. But you don't see Aki come back out of the tent.
Kindling, it doesn't matter what her intentions are. Mev asked me to take care of her when shit gets bad for her. And telling people is gonna be really fucking bad for her.
Mev takes a breath. I understand that you are coming from a good place. That you want to make sure that everything stays together. But she thinks when I presented the idea of talking to Olivia about you and Curse, I gave you full rights to it. If you said no, we wouldn't do it. Because it's your business and your problem. You need to provide me with the same respect.
The frown that Fur has sort of lessens. She just sort of like looks down meekly. You're right. You're right. I'm just scared. It's been a horrible few days. I'm just... At least think about it, please.
I know. She looks at Kindling. We've not discussed this particular subject.
Me and Curse talked about it last night. We're both worried.
Does he agree with you?
He tends to agree with a lot of what I say. To him, it's not his business, I guess. At least, not to the point to get involved. But you and the Talaria took us in and are fighting for us to try and live normal lives. I don't know, I guess I'm just seeing it differently.
She puts a hand on Fur's shoulder.
She sort of tenses when you do that.
You are not going to lose this. Things are hard right now. Things are chaotic. But they're not going to stay that way. What we need to do right now in these times of hardship is work together as a group to be on the same page. That's the thing that's going to keep us together through all of this.
No, you're right. So I'm panicking a little bit, that's all. And
That's okay. You're allowed to be concerned and to share your just like we're allowed to voice our opinions. I'm sorry that I yelled at you.
No, it's fine. I wasn't thinking straight. I still think you should, though. You know, even if it's just at the stray thoughts part, at the very least.
She inhales. I will think on it. I don't. I will think about it. She keeps it at that.
So it just sort of like nods her head several times, tries to, she avoids eye contact with you, but she appears to acknowledge your decision.
Yeah, she brushes Fur's hair, kind of fixing it. Hey, look at me.
So like looks up, you can see her eyes are like there's not tears running down, but they are sort of her eyes are like listening with tears waiting.
She just very gently wipes her tears away. No matter what, we're going to get through this together. Right?
Yeah.
Good. That's as it should be.
So like wipes the rest of the tears away and she's like, those bandages should last. How far is it going to be till Port Honor? Like
About 3 days.
3 days. They should last. Till then, hopefully. Hopefully, I'm out of bandages.
We can always use scrap cloth if need be. She stands up straight. Thank you. I'm going to go get some rest.
Please do.
She will give Havelock like a pat on the shoulder as a thanks and heads to the tent. Saki eavesdropping.
No, Aki's asleep, but you find him in an odd position.
What's the position?
So he's asleep, lying face down on a piece of paper. His
What?
quill is in his hands. His inkwell is on the floor next to him. Fortunately enough, when he fell asleep, he wasn't knocked over. And on the piece of paper, if you want to take a closer look at it.
Yeah, I'm most definitely gonna like gingerly take it.
Written in sort of big, sort of very scrawly, almost like not in the same sort of neat handwriting you expect from Aki. Like this is such a, you get a sense like it's such a spur of the moment thing. He just writes in big ink letters, "Who is Meveler Gatlin?" And then you see a few words you can just about make out before it just descends into just incomprehensible scribbles until the pen sort of just stops writing at a certain random point.
Her face scrunches. Does Valkyr say anything?
He doesn't say anything, but you can get sort of like the sense of him also intensely staring at both the parchment and Aki.
Yeah,
Yeah, Aki is fast asleep, by the way.
She very quietly, carefully just puts everything away, puts the inkwell away, the pen, everything, like it never happened. But she has a piece of paper in her hands. And she summons Valkyr.
Yes.
She hands him the piece of paper. Get rid of it. I don't care if you have to throw it in the sea, rip it up, burn it. I want it gone.
Of course. He just sort of like steps out of the tent.
Yep.
Can he hold stuff?
Yeah.
Yep, he can. Fucking Christ. Mev lays down.
Mm-hmm.
I guess as you lay down next to Aki, he will just almost instinctively like roll over and lay a hand on you.
She puts her hand over yours. Just closes her eyes, still like her brow is still furrowed.
But do you move Aki, by the way, from like when you get the piece of paper? Like, do you like try to like reposition him?
She does not mess with him any more than she has to.
So she basically just very lightly like moves the paper away from it because like essentially I'll thought of it as like a sheet of A4, but at the top he is written like in big letters, "Who is Meveler Gatlin?"
Yeah.
And then just scribble.
Yep.
Like he's just trying to get his bare thoughts down before sleep overtook him.
Yep.
So I think Aki will still be lying face down, just on the sleeping bag. Or actually, to be fair, he'd probably be lying off the sleeping bag, going more like into the dirt.
Yep, he was not moved.
No, I know, but I'm trying to think what position Aki would have been in when he was writing. And
Well, I
Yeah,
imagined he was sitting up and then fell over.
no, well, no.
Does it matter?
It does not matter. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So both of them are asleep. Go ahead. Yeah, sure.
Fucking Christ, Matt.
And as you're dropping off rather quickly, you do get the occasional glimpse of initiative. You're not finding something, Havelock. You do get sort of like the image, like sort of like the mental image of Valkyr, so like stepping out.
Mm-hmm.
Kinley and Havelock have already left to do more fishing, and there's just Fur just sat over the side, just knees drawn up to her chest, just sort of like looks up at Valkyr, sort of like can't see the writing, but you can just see the parchment that he's holding. She just sort of like reaches over to the fire with her hatchet, so like nudges the fire to the side. Valkyr just sticks the paper in, and without looking at the paper, just covers it up. And you just sort of hear what do you call it? You just hear Valkyr say, "Thank you, little one."
Covering up evidence without even knowing it.
Whatever it is, I don't want to stick my nose into it. I've seen what happened that last time. Stuck my nose in enough of Mez things.
I feel so bad for her. I'm so sorry.
For what it's worth, she doesn't hate you. She's just angry at the moment. Yeah, I know. It's like that with me and Oates sometimes too. She'll be able to hear this, won't she? I tend not to hide much from her. Well, I know that I'm sorry, and whatever that was indicates the now burning parchment. I'll only pry if she wants me to. Same with everything else at this point. I'm sure she will understand. Sorry again. And Valkyr just dissipates. And I believe we're at the point now where we need to stop, don't we?
Yep.
Okay.
What did First say about the parchment? Just for my notes.
Fur deliberately avoided seeing what was on the parchment. She's refused to stick her nose into it. Okay, I'm just gonna do this roll here. Oh, alrighty. Well, based on that, Kindling and Havelock. This will be a good way to finish off the session. Your second attempt, you are able to get several several more fish, and sort of swimming out a little bit, Havelock. You are able to get some crabs. 3 of them.
Yay.
But with that, as I said, I do believe we're at the point where we need to stop. It's been a while since we've had to do the early bit, so we're going to call it for that session.
Yay! Oh, Jesus fuck.
Oh boy.